Okay. Hello, everybody. It's Narrative Tarot. I'm here for Venus 2021. March 2021. Venus are those who are Taurians and Librans. But this reading is for those who have significant transits or significant placements with Venus, aspects, things like that, or you could be a Taurus, Libra. So comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Commenting and liking helps populate the video. It makes it more available to people. Subscribing just keeps you in the loop. I do monthly planet readings, and then I also do other things, book reviews and all of that jazz. So let's get into it. So it might be just a little bit flustered. Okay. So normally I do 8 cards, four upper worlds, 4 lower worlds. So now it's pretty simple. I don't know what that means for you guys as far as simplicity goes, but you may be in the process of simplifying something, or something is very simple. The answer is very simple. You might be very short temper, but you might also be very short reply. So things that require you to have 1, 2, 3 word answers, very short syllables, things like that. I guess that's getting your point across in a much more constructive way in March 2021. So for Venus, just keep it simple would be the best advice as far as that goes. So yeah, that's pretty simple, I guess. But keeping it simple, making sure that the words you use are very helpful to you, helpful to other people, and making sure that the words you say are somehow expressive in a very beautiful way. So I don't know. I've been going down the rabbit hole for the last 2 hours or so of different languages. So you may actually speak a language that has really short syllables, really short sounds. You may have really short words, things like that in the language, but it sounds really beautiful, or the way that it would be transliterated would be quite beautiful, quite romantic sounding. And there actually could be a plethora of romantic writings for this language. Romantic writings about love, writings about feelings and emotions, particularly the perspective of love, how love is formed, how love lasts, how love is made, how love is bonded, how love is shared, lost, misused, abused. That seems like that's a theme. And so something with your words, because it's I did that whole thing for my own ancestral path and stuff like that, but I feel like for you this would be really important. So for Venus, love must be a theme. We did just come off of Valentine's Day, right? But it's probably a theme, and it's probably something where you might be learning your love language as well. But I just think it's something to do with language. It's something to do with conveying a certain aspect of yourself that's quite Venusian in essence. Even if the word sounds pretty harsh to other people, for English speakers, Semitic languages come off quite harsh from my experience. I've attempted Arabic, and so it comes off quite harsh. But I know that Arabic literature, particularly poetry, is some of the best in terms of conveying emotions, right? So even if it sounds kind of off to other people, that relationship that you have is quite important. And that may be just something as well, the relationship that you have with whoever it is, regardless of whether it's supposed to be a certain way, look a certain way, be a certain way, It's the relationship that you have with the person or the relationship you have with yourself. It may look unorthodox, it may look kind of weird, it may defy social conventions, things like that. As long as everyone is able to consent, meaning they're adults, they're not being coerced, they're in a proper state of mind, they're in just a proper vibration, then there shouldn't be any issue. And I think the capacity to love and the capacity to transcend some things when it comes to love is very important in March 2021 for some reason for you guys. So, without further ado, the upper world and the lower world. So we have the upper world of judgments. I was going to say death, but that's judgment. And then the lower world of the Seven of Swords. So picking language that doesn't lie, that tells the truth, that even if it's like you live in a like bi or multilingual household, because I feel like this is someone who's like quite linguistically aware, or someone who writes a lot, or someone who for whom language is a way to tell truth, right? So you don't necessarily have to be a writer, but you probably are someone who is quite well versed in truth and telling the truth and speaking your truth and making sure that truth is something that is expressed, but particularly verbally expressed. That's how I feel. So with the lower world, Seven of Swords, that definitely is something that keeps you stuck and hidden and things like that. Hidden as in where you're not using the right words, you feel like you're apart from yourself. You're not really who you're supposed to be. And so words to you mean everything. You may be also in the midst of starting a business or something like that, or a slogan, and for you getting the words down perfectly is really important. You may also be writing your vows, and it's very important to get it right. Or lyrics to a song. You could be a songwriter and you're trying to get that shit right. Like, you want it to be the best. Like, language is everything to you. Like, language, body language, but I think written and spoken language is everything. And I think that has something to do with the languages that you speak. It's very important to get it right. Not necessarily on a grammatical error, like grammatical tip, but like on a emotional, what you're trying to convey kind of thing, you know? Like an example would be Mandarin. In Mandarin, you have different tones. Depending on the tone, you could change the entire meaning of what you're trying to convey. And so you're very careful about this. Judgment. So you could be making a judgment call about this. You could be having a eureka moment about something as far as honesty and truth. And so it's very important to, when you have this honesty moment, trying to convey it as quickly as possible and as accurately as possible, because it may not come again in the same way, meaning that like the first idea you get is the best idea, the most connected to source, I think, as well. And so making sure you write that down, say it, do something with that, because that's the most connected to source. So if you're trying to create something, the most connected to source words that you get, the most connected to source words that you get should be recorded down. Like, that's what that's about. So because they're not the words that lie to you, they're the words that are transcending the human body. And so they're the most spiritually aware, they're the most cosmically aware, they're the most pronounced, they're the most powerful. Like, I just think that words are really powerful for you, and words are important. So I don't fucking know. I spent like 2 fucking hours doing words and languages, but I think for this reading though, Venus means, words mean a lot to Venus. So It's like, even when you end things, you end it in a way that cosmically aligns with truth. Like, there's never any, like, anger. It's truth. It's raw truth. And so the words that you choose, like, are really important. So you may be wrapping up something, breaking up with someone, dumping somebody, and the words that you say, like, are truthful. Not in a stinging way, but they are profound in that they cement what you're thinking. Yes. 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 Okay. So just making sure that you stay on that, making sure that you clean up your words, learn new languages. I don't know if you want to do that. Clean up your words, learn words. Like, it just seems like you're connected to words. I like that. Okay. So, okay. Lastly, okay. This is a shorter one. You don't really need that much. Because I was going to do a longer one, and it's like, do I need the longer one? Like, I don't know. Okay. Okay. I really want this one. It's a lot of things. There's a lot. My God. Okay, there's a lot of things at play. Okay, we have gossip. So we have awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. Shadow attributes thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Weird. So we have, okay, so you have, this is considered the Empress and the Queen of Wands reversed. So I guess when you're starting this whole thing, someone is the Empress, someone's the Queen of Wands reversed. So someone is standing in their power, someone is not. Someone is speaking their truth or being their truth. I think words to you reflect you being your truth. Like, speaking your truth is important to you. That's really important. But speaking your truth is kind of like an offshoot of being your truth. So that's that. I don't know if you see this other person's Queen of Wands reversed. Not speaking their truth, not being their truth, unable to see the truth, unable to be truthful, faithful, maybe even. But I think you guys see it that way. You may be like really confused, like, this may, because I also came up with the word Maya, which is dealing with like illusions and stuff like that, and I was looking up the meaning of that. But like, this may be you and like illusory words. Like, I don't know if you're like looking over text messages from somebody and like you just pointing out all the lies this person said, dating profiles, going through like tightening that up, like websites. It just seemed like there's something, some sort of relationship with words and the child is hot. With words and your ability to like convey what you need to convey. So like if you're on like an app and then like you say the wrong thing and then you get all these people and you're like, who the fuck are all these people? Like, this isn't what I'm trying to attract. So let me go ahead and rephrase or cut out words altogether. Like that's how I think, because you're not attracting those things that you want or those people that you want. But it feels like love, it feels like business, it feels like just the words that you have, the vibration frequency that you have. Like you're trying to figure out the right fit. Like that's what it feels like. You're trying to figure out the right fit. You're trying to figure that out. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so we have in the middle, because I call this a helix reading, so this is how this ends. So we have the 12, number 12, which is the hangman. And so there's this process by which, like, so the funny part is the Queen of Wands reversed actually is the one that ends up with clearer vision. The the Empress ends up with the Three of Swords. So Three of Swords, then Ace of Pentacles. So what's happening is you may have to change your idea of words. Like, say, okay, like a basic example, since this is Venus, you have on your profile, like some words on there, like Coke bottle, like I like Coke bottle women or something like that. You get Coke bottle women, but they're not the vibrational frequency that you want. Is there someone with a Coke bottle shaped body that like you can be attracted to? Yes, but it doesn't seem like that data you're getting back like shows you that there's a high probability of that. Like there seems like the chances of you meeting that sort of person is really slim, and so you need to redirect. So maybe you need to say, instead of that, someone who's into wellness, fitness, I like to run, I like to swim, I like to play tennis, you know, must have hiking boots or something like that. Like that would probably attract the person a lot better than like Coke body shape or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or hourglass or something like that. Like you might not be getting what you want based on the words that you put on the profile. It could be the same thing like if you have a website and you want customers, but you're not describing the product right. You're not describing what it can do correctly, you know? And so if that's the case, then it ends up being a Three of Swords thing, because it's like, yeah, you have all of this vibrational output to give, but it's like you're not seeing clearly of how. Now, this could be who you used to be versus who you are now. This could be a versus yourself. It feels like more like a versus yourself. It doesn't seem like there's another person. I don't understand why all this shit is out here, but this could just be you. I think this is you and Ghosts of Christmas Past. Like it feels like you and all the iterations of you and all the iterations of like all these other people that you attracted. And it's almost like with that Judgment card, you're being judged right now for like all of that. Your ability to wade through all of that. So it might be a really hard time for you guys in March actually. Like, because we're coming off of Mercury retrograde as well. So words can be really important. So I don't know. Whew. Time is flying back. I only got a few minutes. Okay. We got Mystic, Pioneer, Student, Knight, Child Divine, Martyr. And this is the Outside Slave. So this, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own decision. I think this is like the outside influence your spiritual influence, your cosmic influence, just wants you to trust. So like, want you to just fucking trust that the vibration that you put out works. You may be spending too much time being the student and not as much time being the knight and the child divine. Like, you might spend your time like, it's like analysis paralysis, or like perfection. You need to let go of perfection. I kind of feel like that's what this shit is. You need to let go of perfection. You need to let go of making the wrong mistake, saying the wrong word. Words are important to you, but like, you gotta let go of making the wrong mistake. You know what I'm saying? So let go of that, and then step into, so martyr, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, and pioneer. So coming together with this sort of idea, because I think you think that like it's not a woe is me, but like, you may underestimate the power of some words to transcend. Like, words that you avoid are words that you probably need to use, or need to examine why you don't use them. So like, if you don't like the word fear or lack or poverty, you need to understand that may be a mechanism that you're scared of, as opposed to something that you're trying to transcend. Like with the slave energy, you're supposed to be okay with trusting the divine, but it's like, you can't be scared of the word fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I used the word fear, it's gonna manifest. It's like, no, you need to understand that is a concept that exists, and it exists in the world, and it can exist in your world, and that's okay. With the mystic, revels in intimate union with the divine, because all of these are upright, but the shadow is delusional rapport with the divine. The divine. You gotta make sure that you understand that your relationship with the divine is not delusional. Like, even if there are certain words that seem low vibrational, they are high vibrational for you. They mean something for you. They mean a transcendent relationship, something that you transmuted, or something that you can go through. It's almost like you rather study things that are positive than things that actually are shadow. It's kind of like you don't think that you can deal with it, or you think that by saying it brings it into your life. But it's like, it brings it into your life to understand how to rework what you're doing and what you're saying, you know? So work on that. Other than that, the martyr, the pioneer, I think you could really rewire the way that you think about words, the way that you express yourself. Like, if you're having writer's block or creative block, I think you need to go back to the words that you may be quite painful and hurtful, and then rework those. The words that crippled you, the words that you are the words that you shouldn't run away from. You know what I'm saying? Don't run away from those words, because you keep running away from the words, and then they keep showing up, but it's like you don't recognize that the words that you're choosing are the same vibrational matches in some cases, and that's attracting certain stuff. So there's a relationship between the pioneer, the martyr, the child divine, the knight, the mystic, the student, and then the slave is the energy that's encasing it. So you're not going to fail, but it's like you got to recognize that in running away from certain words, you're running away from your essence, and you're learning and you're healing as well. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye.